Limit as x goes to 0 of the tangent of 8x divided by 2x. The first thing we're going to do is try plugging a 0 in for each of the x's. That'll give us a tangent of 8 times 0 divided by 2 times 0. 8 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. The tangent of 0 is the sine of 0 over the cosine of 0. The sine of 0 is a 0. The cosine of 0 is a 1, so it's a 0 over 1. 0 divided by 1 is a 0, so we have a 0 over 0 indeterminate form. Since this is coming from trig functions together with power functions, we're going to make use of the identity. Limit as theta goes to 0 of the sine of theta over theta equals to 1. So what we're going to do is take the tangent and rewrite it as sine and cosine. Tangent is sine divided by cosine, because we need to isolate the sine functions. This is divided by 2x. Now, since we have a fraction in the numerator, we're going to want to turn the denominator into a fraction by putting it over 1, so that we can reciprocate and multiply. This will be the sine of 8x over the cosine of 8x times the reciprocal of 2x over 1, which is 1 over 2x. And we can multiply these together. It'll become 1 times sine of 8x is sine of 8x, and 2x times cosine of 8x is 2x cosine of 8x. What we need to do here is isolate the sine function. So I'm going to write it, it's in a numerator, so we're going to keep it in a numerator, but don't have a denominator for it just yet. And then take all other terms which are in the denominator and keep them in the denominator. They just won't have a numerator yet. Now what we need to do is match the phase of the sine function in the other position. We have a sine of 8x, phase of 8x in the numerator. We need an 8x in the denominator. We'll put an 8x there, and then to compensate, we'll put an 8x in the numerator of the other fraction. These are multiplying each other, and they would cancel. The x's can cancel each other, and the 8 and the 2 can cancel down to a 4 and a 1. So what we have left is limit as x goes to 0 of the sine of 8x divided by 8x times 4 divided by the cosine of 8x. The first fraction is the perfect identity. We've matched the phase, so that's going to be equal to 1, and we no longer have 0 over 0. Instead, we're going to have 1 times 4 divided by the cosine of 8 times 0. 1 times anything is the same thing, so we're going to have 4 over the cosine of 8 times 0 is a 0. The cosine of 0 is equal to 1, so we have 4 over 1, or